This video is going to be a quick recording for ISN 50 and 51 about fractions, decimals, and percents. So we're going to start with a fraction, which is written as the numerator. It's the top over the denominator. You can write these notes in your ISN so you have it. I'm going to write it as some number divided by another number. It is the top divided by the bottom, where b cannot be equal to 0. If you take the top number and divide it by 0, you're going to get an error on your calculator. You can't take a number and put it into no groups, so the denominator cannot be 0. To go from a fraction to a decimal, we now know that it is division. It is going to be the numerator divided by the denominator. And when you're comparing numbers, you want things in the same format. Probably you're going to put it in decimal format. If you have a fraction, you can make it a decimal by dividing the top divided by the bottom. In decimal, we have to keep in mind place value, because if we know that after the ones place value you have tenths, that means you divided by 10. If the last decimal that you're given was in the hundredths place value, hundredths, you divided by 100. And it continues. The third place value is the thousandths. That means you must have divided by 1,000. If you had something like 0.125, that was 125 divided by 1,000. You have to look at the last place value. To go from a decimal percent to a percentage in this direction, you multiply by 100. If you have a percentage and you want to go back to a decimal, well, we know that percent means out of 100. Right? So the percentage is divided by 100. So again, it's a fraction. You can go back. You divide by 100 if you have a percentage to get the decimal. And finally, fractions to decimals and percentages to decimals. To get to a fraction from a percentage, you write it out of 100. It's divided by 100, the percent mark. But if you're given a fraction and you want to find the percentage, you must divide. So it is the numerator divided by the denominator. And then you're going to multiply by 100. Okay? Pause this and write these notes in your ISN. So you can do ISN 50, where you're asked to write as a percentage or to write it as a decimal. You're asked to write a percentage as a decimal and write a decimal as a fraction. Okay? Then you're asked to find percent and compare. When you are comparing, what you want to do is make all of the numbers decimals. So make them all decimals and then put them in order from whatever it's asked to, least to greatest. Make every number a decimal first. And that's what you're going to do on page 51 in your ISN. On page 51, there is a paper that you can find. It's going to be in class notebook. Or it will be in files and you can print it up, or you can just write the list in order from least to greatest. Okay, so you can actually just write in your ISN after you write these notes the order of these numbers from greatest to least. It will be attached to your assignment. So that's page 50 and 51 in your ISN.